let's go ahead and get started. Actually, we're going to get started in, I'm going to pin my video so it's nice and big for you. Let's hope. And then maybe that brightens it up a bit. Let's get started lying down. So you can go ahead and lie down on your back. And maybe even for a moment, find a long body stretch. So stretch your legs, stretch your arms over your head once you're there. Feel the front of your hips lengthen a little bit more as you point your toes forward and reach through your fingertips. Take one big breath in right here as you fill all the way up. Feel the front of your body expand. And then open up your mouth, let out a sigh if that feels good, and take your arms down along your sides. And see if you can take your palms and face them down towards the ground. Like since you are outside, which is so perfect, you can start to feel your hands on the actual earth and then start to bend your knees. You can keep your knees in line with your hips if that feels good, or start to just heel-toe your feet a little wider and knock your knees together to find internal rotation of the thighs. Maybe you feel the sacrum, the low back soften towards the ground a little bit more as a result. And then see if you can soften any tension in the shoulders that arises. Soften the tension in the face if that comes up. And just take a moment of pause here to notice your breath, maybe for the first time all day long. See if you can trace the inhale in all the way to the top, fill all the way up, maybe even more. And then a nice slow exhale. Maybe your exhale is even longer than your breath in as you land and you empty. Think about grounding down with each breath out. Take a few more right here. And then just start to heel-toe your feet so they're in line with your hips and your knees are also in line with your hips. So a little bit of space between the legs. I want you to bring your hands to your belly. So right above your navel, right in that spot where your diaphragm lives, like right below your ribs, right above your navel. And take a big breath in. Feel your belly almost press up into your hands as you breathe in. Now, as you exhale, can you draw that space in and feel your low back down into your mat just a little bit more? It doesn't have to be big. You don't have to lessen the entire curve of your low back. I just want you to feel that engagement. Do that one more time. Take a breath in to expand out. And then a breath out to engage and draw that space, the back of your ribs down towards your mat. Now keep that engagement. Start to just bring your knees and stack them right on top of your hips. And then think about your shins coming parallel to the ground. So you're just creating a 90-degree angle with the knees. And you can even point your toes up towards the sky. So you're flexing your feet, or flexing your ankles rather. And then take your hands, I want you to press them into your thighs. And then so crazy, you're going to press your thighs back into your hands. You're going to really turn the belly on here. I want you to stay and breathe. And find this isometric movement to turn the belly muscles on for 3. Start to breathe in and out through your nose. Let that breath fuel your middle. 2. Last 1. And then hug your knees towards your armpits, and then find a little bit of a sway side to side. So you'll use that engagement to support all of the movements and even the transitions that you take in between each pose. So I want you to find that muscle memory and come back to it. And then start to land in the middle. Again, stack your knees over your hips, create that 90-degree angle. We're gonna do a lot of like right and left work here. So at first it gets a little bit confusing, but just like you'll find the rhythm. So keep your right hand, bring your hands to your thighs. You're gonna keep your right hand on your right thigh, extend your left leg forward, and then reach your left arm overhead. So the left side of your body is getting longer and you're engaging through the right side, pressing into your right side. Take a breath in to expand. Now use your exhale to come back to that middle. Bend your left knee, left hand to your left thigh. Now you'll switch sides. So right leg goes long, right arm reaches. Take one big breath in, pull it apart, and then exhale, come back to the middle. And now we start to move a little bit faster, but I don't want you to hurry. So take a breath in, left leg, left arm. Exhale back to center. Right leg, right arm. Back to center. One more round, left leg, left arm. Back to center. Last one, use your breath. Right leg, right arm. Back to center. Now press your hands into your legs, press your legs back into your hands, one more breath in. And then hug your knees into your chest or to your armpits. And then a little rock side to side if that feels good. Now after all of that work, I want you to place your feet back on the ground, hips width distance, arms down along your sides like before, but then start to press into your feet and lift your feet. Just an easy bridge pose, but let it be slow and controlled. Gaze straight up towards the sky so you keep the back of your head on the ground. Take one more big breath in. Can your glutes turn on a little more? And then use your slow exhale to return to the ground. Find that grounding. Hands to your belly. Again, close your eyes. Pause. Take a full breath in. Maybe open your mouth. Whenever you're ready, you'll just hug your knees towards your chest. You're just going to take a little bit of a rock front to back. Front to back. And then take as many rocks as you want to create a little bit of momentum to just sit up tall here and cross your right shin in front of your left. So finding that grounding in the hands as they walk behind you. So pads of your fingers press down and see if you can lift up higher through the crown of your head. Maybe even broaden through the chest. You might even take your chin up a little higher. And then you'll sit up as you reach your hands up, sweep them out enough. And then just nice and easy, you'll fold forward here. Maybe taking the pads of your fingers down in front of you. Take a breath in to lengthen through the spine. And then a breath out just to soften through the elbows and round through the upper back. If you want, you can drop your head. And then you'll just slowly walk your hands back towards your legs, lifting the chest. You'll plant your hands behind you and then plant your feet hips width distance apart. Start to lift your hips up. Find that reverse tabletop. So a little bit higher here, and then you start to maybe rock side to side. Just a little if it feels good. Look straight up towards the sky as you lift your hips a little higher. And then exhale to slowly return your seat to the ground. Now it's left shin in front as you sit up, but place your hands behind you to lift your heart. So a little bit of a back bend here. Maybe even lift your chin. Take a full breath in. Big exhale. And then you'll sweep your hands out and up as you sit up really tall, like straight up towards the sky. Then tip forward to fold. And maybe the pads of your fingers soften through the elbows. They come in front of you. Take your heart forward as you inhale, lengthen. Big exhale to fold, round your upper back, and then drop your head if you wish. And you'll start to walk your hands back towards you as you lift your heart. One last time to bring your hands behind you, plant your feet, reverse tabletop, but I want you to squeeze the glutes. Feel your feet ground down as you rise, look straight up, take a breath in. And then exhale, return your seat to the ground. Now cross one shin in front of the other, you'll just rock forward into tabletop pose. Hands and knees. Now lift your heart, take a breath in, finding a slow cow pose. Press into your hands and round your upper back, drop your head, find cat pose. Move through those two shapes really slow. So let your transition be about using muscles rather than just momentum. So thinking about the spine, thinking about the belly, and how do they work together to support the movement that you take. Once you feel complete with that, come back to tabletop pose. So notice how that's neutral in the middle. And just like you did before, I want you to send your right leg behind you. So it's kind of like the same motion, but we aren't on our back, right? And then you'll send this time instead, your left hand goes forward to find that spinal balance. Take a big breath in, pull it apart. Now, as you exhale this time, elbow and your right knee come together. So left elbow, right knee, they tap. One more like that. Pull it apart, take a breath in. And then draw it in as you exhale. Now pull it apart as you inhale. Take your left hand over to the left. Take your right foot maybe a little out to the right. It's a little bit more of a challenge. And then pull it back to center. Tabletop pose, you land. Lift the heart, find cow. Round your back, find cat. Now take your knees a little bit wider, your big toes together. Child's pose, your seat goes back. Walk your fingertips forward and maybe your head finds the ground. So here's another opportunity to stay low to the earth. To start to slow things down, to ground down. You might even rock your head side to side if that feels good, this moment of pause. And then you'll slowly shift back forward onto all fours, your tabletop pose. Knees under hips. And then you'll send your left leg behind you, but think about the belly supporting that movement. Reach your right hand forward. You'll take your breath in to pull it apart. And then your exhale, tap right elbow, left knee together underneath you. One more like that. Inhale, pull it apart. Use your exhale to bring them together. They tap underneath. Now pull it apart as you breathe in. And back to tabletop pose. Oh, I lied. Come back to it. Send your left leg back. Right hand forward. We can't miss this. So take your right hand out to the right. Left leg maybe a little further out to the left. Embrace a little shake. Take one more breath in. And then back to center. Now it's back to tabletop pose. Lift your chest, find cow. Round your back, find cat.
Take your knees a little wider, your big toes together. Back to child's pose. So you're sending your hips back, you're walking your fingertips forward and your head, again, can find the ground. You're not here long, just take 3 big breaths. So if you really want a little more movement, I'll just ask that you find power and find strength in lessening that need to hurry. Being right where you are. Take 1 more full breath in. Maybe even open up your mouth, let out a sigh. And then make your way in your own time to downward facing dog, your first one. So you'll lift your hips up and back, spread your fingers wide, and maybe even right away take a little bit of a rock of the hips or pedaling out the feet. And then take your feet just a little bit wider, bend your knees a little bit more. And just walk your hands back towards your feet. So at the back of your mat, you'll land in that forward fold. Bend your knees a lot. And then it's ragdoll. So as you plant your feet firmly, can you sway your arms? And let that movement feel good in the upper body. Maybe shake out the head, yes and no. And you can heel toe your feet just a little closer. Find your halfway lift. Bring your hands to your shins and reach your chest forward. And then your exhale folds you back down. Let your head be the last thing to drop. 1 more like that, halfway lift. Big inhale to lengthen. Slow exhale to fold and round. Now press through your feet, sweep your arms out and up. You'll rise and stand all the way up. Bring your hands to your heart center as you pause. Your first time standing. So see if you can start to take your arms down along your sides. Palms will face forward, finding mountain pose, but spread your toes really wide. And then think about the 4 corners of your feet. So your big toe, your pinky toe, and your inner and outer heel. I want those 4 things to plug into the earth. So we call that in Sanskrit, we call that pada bandha, which is your foot bind. The way you like bind your feet with the ground. So you'll find that. Take a big breath in. Maybe open up your mouth. Standing up tall, feeling strong, feeling supported, feeling grounded. And then I want you to just shift the weight into the left foot. Feeling the 4 corners, press down. Start to bring your right knee hip height. Hip height. So thinking about that 90-degree angle. Press your right hand into your right thigh. Reach your left hand up to the sky. So you'll feel your right hip working. See if you can press your thigh back up into your hand, just like you did when you were on the ground. So notice how we're taking it in just different increments. Now we're standing. Take 1 more breath in. Can you reach up even higher? And then slowly start to just come back. Press your right foot into the ground. It's your mountain pose. Take a breath in, shrug your shoulders. Now open your mouth as you let them fall. A little sigh. And then find that pada bandha, that foot bind in your right foot. You're gonna shift the weight over to the right and then bring your left knee hip height. It may seem simple, but you can find a lot of strength and a lot of work in your hip flexor. So left hand to your left thigh, right hand reach it up to the sky. Press down into your thigh. Press back up into your hand. Feel that turn on. Take 1 more breath in. Can you reach up even higher? So nice. And then set your left foot down, your mountain pose. This time, sweep the arms out and up. Take a big breath in. Sit right back into chair pose. So both hips start to work. I want you to press down through your heels. Lift up through your chest. Take 1 more breath in. Think hinging at the hips. Reach forward to fold and bow down. Take your halfway lift. Big breath in. Heart goes forward. Walk the hands to that downward facing dog. Stay here, take a big inhale. A long exhale. Now lift your heels up as you breathe it. Roll forward to your plank pose. Stay here as you inhale. Now bend the right knee, let it hover 2 inches above the ground. So just like a little pedaling here, and then come back to plank. Drop your left knee, let it hover. Come back to plank. And then drop your right knee down, spin your left heel down, reach your left arm up. Take a big breath in, open up. Reach your left hand forward. Now pick your left leg up off the ground. Tap left elbow, left knee together. Nice. Now pull it apart as you inhale. This time, left hand, left thigh come together. I want you to keep them together. Look to the front left corner. Plant your left foot there. Keep your left hand on your thigh. Reach your right arm up to the sky. Take a big breath in. And then right away, your right shoulder drops away from your ear. Press down through your left palm. See if you can lift up a little higher with your right hand. Take a breath in. Lean over to the left. So now you get an even deeper stretch in the front of that right hip after all of that work. Now you'll rise up with both hands, take a breath in. Start to send your hips back and pick your left toes up as you find like a half split, we call it. Your arms can come down along your sides like wings for a little bit more of a challenge. If you want, your fingertips can find the earth. And your left leg doesn't have to be all the way straight. Soft bend in the knee. Take a breath in, reach your heart forward. Stay or fold as you exhale. Now take one more breath in. Find that length through the crown of your head. Come back forward into that lunge, bending your left knee. Hands find the ground. Start to tuck your back toes and lift your knee off the earth. Spin your right heel down, open up, warrior two. You're one and only, so really sink into it. Reach through your fingertips. Take one big breath in. Without needing to hurry, can you use your exhale to sink in and be right here, not worrying about what's coming next. Notice your breath, your inhale, your grounding exhale. Now straighten the legs, reach the arms up, parallel the feet. Maybe start to take your arms down along your sides and interlace your fingers right at the base of your spine. Take a breath in, driving the elbows back, lifting the heart. And then exhale, soften the knees to fold forward. Maybe you keep that bind, or if it's not serving you, let it go, drop the hands down. If you want movement here, just bending through one knee and then the other. If you need stillness, you stay and press down through both feet evenly. A full breath in. A bigger exhale. Start to come to a halfway lift, hands underneath your shoulders, and then bring your hands to your hips. Start to stand all the way up. And then you just face the front of your mat, step your right foot to meet the left. Sweep your arms high, take a big breath in. Sit back into chair pose. Now shift the weight into the right foot. I want you to pick the left knee up. And then take your figure four, cross the left ankle over the right knee and send that left knee wide. And like you were sitting in a chair, your seat goes back. Your hands can come to your heart for balance. You're just here for 3. Last 2. Final 1. And you'll slowly stand up. I want you to hug that left knee into your chest. And step the left foot to meet the right. Take a breath in, sweep the arms high. You can even look up, gather the palms together. Pull them through your heart as you fold forward and bow. Taking your halfway lift, big breath in. Plant the hands, step the feet back. Find your plank. Now right back into it. I want you to take a breath in right here. Now you'll pedal the feet, so bend your left knee, let it hover. And then come back to plank. Bend your right knee, let it hover. Back to plank. Now bend your left knee, but bring it to the ground. Spin your right heel down, reach the right arm up. Take that big breath in, modified side plank. Reach the right hand forward. Pick the right leg up. Take a big breath in, pull it apart. Right elbow, right knee, they tap. You can pull it apart as you breathe in. Right hand, right thigh, they meet. Now keep them together, right foot to the top of your mat. Keep them together, sweep your left arm up to the sky. So pressing down through the hand and reaching up a little higher with your left hand. Take one more breath in, even higher. Exhale to lean over to the right. Should feel really nice. Stay in it, take a full breath in. Big breath out. Rising up, reach both hands high. Pull your hips back and pick your right toes up. Finding your half split here. Wherever your hands want to come, where they feel supported, they stay. Take a deep breath in to lengthen. Stay here or fold and deepen. Reach your heart beyond your right toe. Come back forward into that lunge. This time you pick the left knee up as you tuck the toes. Spin the left heel down, rise up, warrior two. So strong. So can you stack the shoulders over the hips? Knowing you have a few rounds of breath here, can you be in every single moment rather than worried about what's coming next? So stay present for 3. Maybe start to even notice what bubbles up to the surface when you're asked to stay. 2. Last 1. And then slow transition to straighten the right leg, reach the arms high, parallel the feet to face the long edge of your mat. And then this time your hands can just come through your heart as you fold forward. And drop the head. Maybe shake out the head, yes, no. Let gravity do a little bit of work for you here. Maybe even close your mouth a few times, softening the jaw. Now find your halfway lift right here. Take that big breath in. Hands come to your hips. Press through your feet to rise up and just stand. Face the front of your mat and you'll step both feet together once you're there. Arms down along your sides. Shrug your shoulders as you inhale. Open your mouth as you exhale. Now sweep the arms out and up. Sit back into chair pose. Take that weight into the left foot. Don't forget about the 4 corners. I want you to pick that right knee up. And then find your figure 4. You choose where your hands go for support. And then you find your breath for 3. Slow and steady. 2. 1, you'll get to stand up, hug that right knee in. And you just get to step that right foot to meet the left. Palms face forward again. I want you to take a big breath in through your nose. Open up your mouth. Sweep the arms out and up. You'll rise and stand up. Exhale, fold, bow the chest down. Take your halfway lift right here. Plant the hands and step your feet back, finding that strong plank. And then knees on or off the mat, your choice. As you inhale, tip the heart forward. Exhale, you can lower halfway or all the way down. Finding your up dog or cobra. Downward facing dog. Your hips go up and back. Take one bigger breath in. Long breath out. Drop your knees. Maybe they come a little wider, big toes together. Child's pose, your last one. So enjoy it. Find ease in it. You might even want to take your arms down along your sides to give your shoulders a break, and maybe again rock your head side to side. See if you can trace your inhale and your exhale. Take one more like that, full breath in, nice and big. Long breath out. And for a moment, just shift your weight onto hands and knees, tabletop pose. Now, if it feels okay and you can sit on your heels without a block underneath your seat, go for that. We're just finding a little bit of breath work before we lie down and do some yummy stuff to relax. If that feels like way too much in your knees, you'll come to your seat, just like we were before, sitting up nice and tall, one shin in front of the other. So wherever you are, just reach the crown of your head up a little higher as you inhale. Find ease and soften through the shoulders as you exhale. We'll start to take a little bit of a grounding breath as we start to slow things down. Encourage slowing down rather than rushing. So take your right hand. You're going to make it in the sort of like a hang 10 symbol. So your thumb and your pinky finger are drawing out. The rest of your fingers are drawing in. And they're all tucked in. Okay? And then you're going to just bring your thumb to your right nostril. Now you might be looking at me, and unfortunately this is not mirroring, right? So I just want you to listen to my words and follow along from there. So you're plugging your thumb to your right nostril. Now you'll take a breath in through your left nostril as you sit up a little bit taller. Now let that go, close your mouth, and breathe out through both. You're gonna do that a few more times. Plug your right nostril, breathe in through your left. Breathe out. Plug your right nostril, breathe in through your left. Breathe out. Keeping your mouth closed. 2 more. Breathe in through your left. Breathe out. Breathe in through your left. Breathe out. Both hands to your knees as you breathe in through both. Open your mouth. Take that one more time. Breathe in. And breathe out. If you're wondering why we took that specific breath, our left side of our body is traditionally correlated with slowing down our parasympathetic nervous system. The elements that are cooling And rather than fire or the sun, it's associated with more of a moon-like quality. So drawing inward. So close your eyes and just sit up tall here and take a few moments in stillness. And just start to observe. And whether you feel something or you feel the same, don't judge it, just observe it. See if you can invite in just a little more ease as you stay for the breath in. Maybe open your mouth again, a little bit of a sigh out to feel your body respond. And if you'd like to end your practice here in a seat, sitting upright, of course, that is always an option. Or if you really want to feel supported and extra grounded, you can start to lie down on your back and maybe take that last long body stretch like before, pointing your toes forward, reaching your arms up above your head, pulling your fingers, your toes apart. And then taking your arms down along your sides if you'd like, and it feels good and grounding to bend your knees, you can of course bend your knees. If you need a little rock or a twist, take that, of course. Taking any final shapes or movements that you need to feel your body just ready to relax and invite in a little more stillness. See if you can stay in that place of observation rather than needing to react. Don't worry and fuss about what you're going to do tomorrow or how tomorrow's answers will come. The way to get through a task, a day, a life is to stay in the present moment. Racing, pushing, trying to force things forward doesn't work. Hurrying will not speed up the process or the journey. In fact, if you race ahead of yourself, you may find you need to go back, return to the parts you skipped over, and go through it again, fully present. Yes, of course, there are times we need to press on, Times we need to push a little bit more. But hurrying won't speed up the process. It will just keep us tense, out of step. To speed up the process, we need to fully immerse ourselves in the moment and then focus our energy, our presence, our emotions, our thoughts, and our heart. Stay in the present moment. Even listen to your heart right now. Be gentle and loving with yourself. Be open to the guidance around. That guidance will make the present moment come alive. If you stay in your heart, stay with yourself, stay in the present moment, tomorrow's answers will come just as today's did. Naturally, gently, and on time. So in this present moment, take that next big breath in. Be right there for it. Notice as you draw in a little more. And use your exhale to notice your body respond. Send that energy, a little more life to your fingers and your toes, to your wrists, to your ankles. And over your next few rounds of breath, just start to bend your knees, roll to your side, and press yourself up to a seat. Sitting up nice and tall. Bring your hands together in front of your heart. Feel your heart lift towards your thumbs. Slightly bow your chin towards that space. Taking a moment to honor yourself for making that space, the time to create space in your body. Space in your mind, even. Take a big breath in, a breath out. Your thumb tips to the center of your forehead, remembering to be kind to yourself. You can share that kindness with others. Namaste.